Alrighty, so I'm going to be super quick because tonight's passage is quite easy and nothing really strange happens. So basically, Jesus walking down a road, gets a bit hungry, as you do, goes to a fig tree, big old fig tree, goes to find some figs. There's no figs. He curses it, moves down to the temple, makes a whip, drives some people out, and there we go. But honestly, isn't that just the most bizarre thing you've ever heard? Is anyone out there? You guys are so quiet. I wish I was here last week when there was 95 of you, because surely someone would have laughed at my jokes then. Alright, let's rally. So, this story is so bizarre that in our meeting at the start of the term, when we were working out who was going to speak off what verses and that sort of stuff, I put my hand up for this one because I didn't know what was going on either, and doing this meant that I actually had to go and do some research and find out, and that way I could actually learn what it meant as well. And while I was doing some research, I found out some cool stuff. So the passage says that as Jesus is walking down, he finds this fig tree. It's covered in leaves, but it has no fruit. It also says that it wasn't the season for fruit. It's not the season for fruit, yet Jesus curses it because there's no fruit. So I did some research. I hit the books hard, kind of like Isaac, because I'm a bit of a nerd as well. And one of the things I was reading was, it basically said, well, if you knew your fruit trees, and your fig trees in particular, then you'd know what it was saying, what it was talking about. So who's up for a biology lesson? A botany lesson. Who's up for some botany? You were more excited about that than you were about me. That's terrible. So, before it starts producing fruit, a fig tree produces two things at the same time. Leaves, and this thing called takwash, or what we would call now just a bud. It's a fruit bud. Eventually this becomes the fruit. And if a fig tree doesn't produce this when it produces its leaves, then there's not going to be any fruit for that season. So, Jesus goes up to this tree and he doesn't find any takwash, but he sees the leaves. So he knows that the fruit tree is not going to produce any fruit. Yet how does this relate to us? What does that mean for us that Jesus curses a tree? Well, there's no coincidence in the very next thing that happens is Jesus goes to the temple and he drives out the merchants. So after he leaves this fruit tree, he goes down to the temple and there's people there buying and selling stuff and it's crowded with all these people. And he overturns some tables and he drives all the people out to make sure they don't keep selling stuff there. And this is kind of what the temple would have looked like. It doesn't really exist anymore. It's like 2,000 years later. But this is what it would have looked like. Now imagine that full of people. Like Boxing Day sales in the city full of people. Like people just everywhere. That would have been so impressive, right? But in the same way that that fig tree was covered in leaves, this had heaps of people there, but it had completely lost its purpose. All the people there were there for the wrong reason. See, they were there to buy and sell stuff. They were there to see their mates and go and get their chickens for dinner and all that kind of stuff. Yet none of them were there to be at the temple to meet with God. None of them were there to learn more about Him. They were there for their own needs. Now, this does relate to us. Because don't you think sometimes we do the same? Do you look like a really good Christian? Do you look like a really good person on the inside? Do you look impressive? Are you serving and up the front and doing all these cool things? And are you producing fruit? Are you doing all these good things because you love God or because you want to be seen to love God? How would Jesus react if he saw your heart and your true motives? We're going to look at this a bit more in pods, but I'm going to pray before we go off, and we'll get stuck into it. Lord God, thank you that you produce fruit, that you call us to you. Lord, we pray that you'll continue to teach us, train us, and make us more and more like you every day. Lord, we pray as we go off to games and things like that, Lord, that we'll have fun, and that we'll get to do good things. We pray this in your name. Amen.